Hello, everyone. This is Dr. I here, the founder of Classroom Without Walls. And in this video, I want to share with you a pathway to help parents future-proof their children's careers and lives. My school, Classroom Without Walls, we focus on teaching young adults, college-age students what they are not learning from a traditional school environment, but what they need to become future ready. So in this video, in this training, I'm going to share with you a pathway that parents can learn and apply to help their children to become future ready. And there's also a clickable workbook to accompany this training. And if you are interested in getting a copy of the workbook, please make sure in the comment section, let me know workbook. So I will send you a copy after this free training. We are live on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Periscope, and on YouTube. So if you are joining us live right now, let me know in the comment section where you are joining us live from, social media wise and geographically speaking. So let's get started again. And I'm talking about a pathway to help parents to future-proof their children's careers and their lives. So when you think about this, how to be future ready, it is such a popular topic. And many parents, when they are thinking about how can I get my children to be future ready, they're not ready yet. What should I do? So many parents' immediate answer to that question is, I need to go back to school. I need to go back to school to get more degrees, to have more pieces of paper. I need a MA. I need a PhD. I need a BS. I need a BA. I need a certification. I need this and that. And I'm going to share with you, which may surprise you. If you think the only solution to future proof your children's career and life is to accumulate more academic degrees, you are kind of on the wrong track. And that model may work in the old age, in the old economy. It is definitely not working in today's information age, in today's new economy. There's AI, machine learning, automation, and fewer people are going to do repetitive tasks. So the first element of this pathway that I want to share with you to help your children become future ready is actually called knowledge. So that's number one. Knowledge. And also, I want to make a clear difference and between like I will explain that in a second. So most people, most students, and even big people like us, when we go to school, when we go to a conference or go to a training, and you know what you are learning from school, from those trainings, you are learning subject matter. You are learning subject matter expertise. Okay. Subject matter expertise. My arm is not long enough, which is good, which is absolutely important. And you go to a school, you choose a major, and that is subject matter expertise in English, in literature, in physics, psychology, chemistry, whatever. That is good. And that worked really well in the old age economy. You become an employee, you don't really hop from job to job, you don't work with people globally, and there's no gig economy. So this old model of going to a school, getting a piece of paper, and gaining and learning, building your subject matter expertise is good. But in the new age economy, this is not enough. You need to know something on top of this. What is that? That is your ability to market yourself, your ability to build a brand for yourself, and your ability to advocate for yourself. And traditionally, institutions will do that for us. I graduate from blah, blah, blah school and I get this, and that degree. That is no longer sufficient. You need to be your own advocate. You need to have the skill to market, to storytell, and to sell yourself, and to advocate for yourself, and to build a personal brand. And unless you know how to do that, unless you know how to market your subject matter expertise, you are not going to be discovered by your dream companies, thought leaders, professionals that you want those people to notice you, to trust you, to hire you. That is not going to happen. So, in fact, at the beginning of this year, LinkedIn published an article. So in that article, and if you are interested, please make sure in the comment section write down workbook. So I will share the workbook with you. So in that article, LinkedIn listed a list of soft skills, a list of hard skills that most companies need in 2020. And under hard skills, my friend, guess what? Here are 3 of the top 10 hard skills that most companies need in 2020, including marketing and sales and video production. So what this means is that regardless of what you know, which we just discussed earlier, subject matter expertise, English, literature, psychology, chemistry, physics, whatever background, whatever knowledge you have learned from your school, from your training. And on top of that, you need a set of new age knowledge, which is your ability to market, to brand, to advocate for yourself, to sell yourself, right? That's very important when you go to job interviews, when you go on a date, when you even like what I'm doing right now, having my own startup companies. I'm constantly selling myself, all those and video production, digital storytelling. So parents, if you really want your children to become a future ready, and if you are only looking at, hey, what's the score that you got on that particular exam? How many A's are you receiving from your high school, from your college? That is not enough, okay? So most parents, their attention is on this. And I hear that all the time. In my career, I have worked with thousands of students. I also had a chance to talk with so many parents. That's the only question that they are so concerned about. But that's not enough, okay? So under knowledge, this is the very first foundation to future-proof your children's career and life. So the second element that I want to share with you is life skills. Okay. And I want to share with you a study. So at the beginning of this year, I think last month, McKinsey, they published a very comprehensive report on life skills and soft skills to help our children, to help any professional to become a future ready, to become desirable, to become marketable in the new economy in 2020. And they, in that report, they listed the top 3 missing soft skills and life skills, including, I have here on my notebook. So the number one missing soft and life skill is problem solving, critical thinking, innovation, and creativity. That's number 1. And the second one is people's ability, our children's ability to deal with complexity, ambiguity. And the third one, which I think is so important, is communication skills. Okay, so those are the top 3 missing skills. As I'm talking, and if you are a parent watching this right now, think about this. How many of those life skills, soft skills, can be cultivated by sitting in a classroom and doing an exam or scoring an A or 100 on an exam, not so much, right? And also, and going back to the LinkedIn article that I shared with you earlier, where they shared a list of top soft skills and a list of the top hard skills. So those are the hard skills that I just shared with you, go under knowledge. So soft skills, according to the LinkedIn article, I really love how they listed. So includes first one is creativity, and collaboration. And next one, which I think is so important, but we don't talk enough, which is persuasion. Think about it. Almost on a daily basis, you are engaging a persuasive talk, right? You are selling your ideas, you are selling your service, your product, you're who you are for those young adults if they want to be hired. And the next one is um, adaptability. And like, how can you cultivate our children's adaptability if they are only sitting in a very safe, very predictable classroom environment? You have to expose your children to different environment, to work with different people of different backgrounds, different ages. And so for us, at my school, Classroom Without Walls, my upcoming Life Accelerator program, we added a component of international traveling. It is so important to be outside of their comfort zone to cultivate their ability to adapt to different environment. And the last one is definitely not the least important, which is emotional intelligence. I don't have the best handwriting, but I hope you can read what I have here. So, emotional intelligence. Last month, or maybe like a few weeks ago, there was an article I also shared on my LinkedIn. Elon Musk, he and his team, they are hiring people to work at their artificial intelligence team. And guess what he mentioned when he was being interviewed? And he said, definitely, we do not need a PhD, right? And second, he mentioned that we don't really care if you graduate from high school or not. Wow. And I hope you are really getting some of the trends here. And last week, yes, I had a great honor to be invited to join a Facebook education event, and also I had the honor to hang out with a leader at the Facebook headquarters, and he shared with me how challenging it is for them to actually hire qualified people, and specifically in terms of soft skills and life skills. And because the technical skills, you can watch a course, it's very teachable. You can probably learn by sitting in a classroom, but life skills, you have to really learn that by being outside the classroom. And last year, I organized my very first immersion under my our Life Accelerator program, and we brought a group of students and we had a trip to Singapore. So while we were in Singapore, we actually visited quite a few Fortune 500 companies, including Adobe, HubSpot. We also visited a few startup companies valued at 30 million US dollars, 300 million US dollars. And we asked them this question a lot. When you are hiring students, when you are hiring those young professionals, what are you looking for? I think that is a question many parents you need to understand. What are those people are looking? What are the things that those people are looking for? And every single time they told us soft skills, life skills, your ability to collaborate, your ability to adapt. Oftentimes at companies like Adobe, HubSpot, and even many startup companies, they are working with people literally from the globe. Your ability to travel, to adapt to different cultures, and to understand accent, all those are so, so important. So again, parents, and most parents that I work with, their attention is here, academic excellence. That is good, my friend, but it is not enough. Okay? Understand the new age set of knowledge that they need to equip, and also life skills. And the last one I want to share on this pathway to really help your children to future proof their careers and lives is really, really important. And that is our mind. I don't know if you can see mindset. This is so missing in your traditional school curriculum. Okay, so what we mean here is to really master how you think and understand what to think, and also develop our ability to engage, to really cultivate growth mindset, and learn to self love and how to overcome self limiting beliefs, how to unlearn some of those self limiting beliefs, and relearn how to cultivate mindfulness, how to cultivate self awareness. All those are so important. Okay. So, as you can see, this is the pathway. And if you are a successful parent and if you have children, high school or college age student, and they are probably on their way to find jobs, to create their life, and you need to understand, you need to move your attention away from here only, but to look at this as an entire package. You need to make sure that your children are actually mastering whatever they are learning from school or from their homeschooling program. They need to know, they need to become a specialist. They need to know a certain subject. Okay. On top of that, they need to have the skill, the knowledge to market, to brand, to advocate, to build a digital footprint for themselves, and life skills and the mindset. So they need to master all of those three elements in order to become future ready, in order to become a lifelong student, to constantly evolving. And so, in other words, I have an even better graph I want to share with you. So, to summarize what I just shared with you, and I want to show you this. And again, if you want to get my workbook, so please in the comment section write down workbook. If you have any questions, I will go back to your questions later. Okay. So this is what I want to share with you. Okay. It's supposed to be an iceberg. Okay. Doesn't look like it. So this is the tip of the iceberg. Okay. So when you think about your children's future, getting them to be future ready, most parents focus only on the tip of the iceberg. And that is what we just shared earlier, subject matter expertise. Okay. So that is their specific major, their specific degree, maybe even in marketing, in psychology, in English, in literature, whatever they are learning. That is subject matter expertise. It is only the tip of the iceberg, right? And if you want your children to be future ready, you need to look at this entire picture. Okay. So earlier we discussed knowledge. Okay. So that's the kind of the old way, the old school of knowledge, which is important. I'm not saying that is not important, but under that, you also need to be able to have the knowledge to market yourself, to brand yourself, and to story sell. Okay, not just storytelling, but story selling and story sell. And using social media technology, this is actually what I discussed at Facebook Education last week. How to really teach our young adults, the next generation, to use social media, to use creative technology, to do what I'm doing right now, to teach you something, to share something valuable, informational, and educational, instead of using social media, creative technologies to only play games. Okay, so you need that. This is knowledge. And the second layer of this iceberg is what we just discussed, life skills. Okay. And again, if you are only looking at the traditional school environment, you are missing a big piece. It is, I don't want to say impossible, it is very hard to cultivate life skills by sitting in a classroom. Okay. That's why, my hashtag classroom without walls, you have to be exposed to different people, different work environment, different cultures, internships, traveling, so on and so forth to develop this big chunk of skills. And the last one, which I think is the foundation, is how we think, what we think, and how to think and what to think. So, mindset. Okay. So, knowledge, skill, and mindset. This is the pathway to become future ready, to help our young adults, our children to become future ready, to create a dream life, to create a fulfilling career, to bring more joy, more fulfillment, and more cash, capital into their lives, and to really understand this. And today I kind of just give you a quick overview of what this pathway is about. So next week in the training, I will probably go live on Thursday again. So for next week's training, we are going to discuss specifically, I assume you already mastered this from your homeschooling program or from whatever school that you attend. So I'm going to teach you, especially parents, to really understand the power of social media, and even if you are starting from scratch, and how do you use social media to build a brand, how do you use social media to market yourself, and how to change something from being perceived as disruptive, destructive, to something constructive, to something conducive to our children's future and lives and happiness. So that's what I'm going to teach you. I have my own model to teach you how to use social media to do all of that, to future proof your career. It is a 3C model. I will share next week's training. And then later, I will be talking about life skills and the mindset. Okay. So if you are loving this series, if you are benefiting from what I shared with you right now, please leave me a comment. And if you are interested in getting a copy of the handbook, the workbook, so leave your comment workbook in the comment section. And if you have any questions, also let me know what questions you have. I hope this short training is beneficial. And follow me on Classroom Without Walls hashtag. I look forward to seeing you again next week to do another training. Thank you so much for joining us live. See you.